Hello everybody. So today I need to basically hold myself accountable for the error of my ways. For nearly 2 years I've made videos which have all been incorrect, and thank you very much to YouTube for helping me see the error of my ways, because the videos I made about the particular individual that is involved in this chatlog, they basically, what I've done is amounted to bullying and harassment. And what's looking at my perspective has helped me see that I was wrong and that everything I said was incorrect. And what I'm going to do, because I've made so many videos in the past about this particular chatlog, I'm going to do, and now I feel like I've stepped through a door and I've reached enlightenment. And before I was clouded, and now I can see clearly. So I can see this chatlog for what it really is. It's an innocent person. And the videos that I've made in the past have been very, very unfair, to say the least. So let's go. Let me look at this chatlog from an honest perspective. So we have this chap here. Let's just call him L, because, well, I don't want to get this particular person who's involved in this. The more I mention people's names, the more I'm likely to not be able to spread the word in the future about my clear understanding of what's going on now. So let me just call him L, because I don't want YouTube to think that I haven't learned my lesson. Well, I most certainly have. So here we go. L. Let's look at this. For all the videos I've done in the past, it was a very close-minded approach of me perceiving that someone was doing bad things. But now, even from this page, you can quite clearly see that isn't the case. He's come along and all he's said is hi. Age, sex, location, please. Using, he's using abbreviated language, but he's very polite. This particular girl called Kayla responds, "Wow, you're just a young one, huh?" With a rose. So already, you can quite clearly see L. L. Well, you can read it yourselves, but L has just sent a little rose. I wonder how many times I'm going to slip up. And complimented this particular girl called Kayla. I don't think I'll get any kind of talking to for mentioning Kayla's name, because she doesn't exist. Wouldn't that be funny if he got a strike? Oh dear. That could be an angle that people could try, couldn't it? Anyway, so L, a little cutie too. Complimentary. He sent her a rose. He's just a young one, huh? I mean, you could argue that maybe he should run away at that point, but what's wrong with him being nice to somebody? And he just explains it all here. If there's any doubt as to my perceptions were incorrect, here, this line here sums it all up, and this is what helps me realise I was wrong. If nobody will talk to you, sweetheart, you can talk to me. So, I mean, there's a genuine concern for this girl's well-being here. For some reason, is able to tell that nobody else is talking to this person. L comes to the rescue and offers his services, and I think he's going to be offering his services in lots of ways during this particular chatlog, and says, if nobody will talk to you, you can talk to me. I'm a good guy. I have 2 nieces your age. I mean, what else is there to say? What else is there to say? He's a good guy. He's got 2 nieces her age. I must admit, when I first started doing videos about this particular document, I didn't quite understand what the fuck him having 2 nieces that are of the age of this Kayla person had anything to do with anything. But now that I'm seeing it from a clear perspective, he's a good guy because he has a family that trust him, and he spoils these people, and he's good to people. He's only looking out for his niece's best interests. Somebody who may be not a nice person would never mention anything about the nieces because they might be embarrassed that they're not very nice to them. But you wouldn't come out and bring your family into this if you weren't a caring family person. So, I mean, we're already, 2 minutes into the chat, and you've got a stand-up guy here. You've got a family man. You've got somebody who's polite. You've got somebody who throws compliments. You've got somebody who looks after somebody's best interests. He's seeing, what more is there to say? So, L goes on to say, well, I should say I had 2 nieces your age when I lived in Washington State. They were your age. They're a little older now, but it still feels to me like they're your age. You see, that's sweet, that, because what that means is L remembers the time when they were the age of Kayla and thinks back with fond memories of how he used to spoil them. This is my interpretation. Well, it's a clear interpretation. There's no doubt I'm telling the truth now. He thinks back to the time when his nieces were 13. And it was a joyous time in his life for totally innocent reasons, and that he used to spoil them, he used to buy them particular clothings that they used to enjoy, and he used to enjoy giving that person those particular items, and he thinks back with fond memories, because here we are again, it's the family person. All Elle is particularly interested in is being nice to this person. He's thinking back to when he was younger and he used to treat his family members very, very well, and now he's trying to spread his love. He wants to do that to Kayla. So Elle, should I say? Elle, how many times is that now? Is that 5? Elle has been very honest here. No bullshit. There's a lot of people on the internet, unlike Elle, who will lie about their age. They'll lie about the location. We happen to know that he was telling the truth at this point. So there's no lies. Everything he said is accurate. I'm thinking this guy should be like the next pope, if I'm being totally honest. So, you must be bored if you're on the internet. Well, L is quite clearly a very enlightened person, because he realises that in most cases, spending your time talking to certain people, unlike L, will be a total fucking waste of time. And he's trying to point her in the right direction. And he's even saying that, you must be bored, but yeah, if you're having fun, that's fine. Now, what Ellie's doing is a very interesting tactic, because although tactic's probably the wrong tactic, implies a plan's in place, which of course there isn't a plan. This is all a genuine act. This is all coming from the source. This is all coming from consciousness. There's no planning or vindictive nature. So this is all a true act. And what he's now trying to do is make Kayla have an even better time and show her pictures of his 2 dogs. Now, Elle has 2 dogs. Or had 2 dogs, I think we might find out. Everybody loves dogs. Everybody loves animals. There's no ulterior motive of... It used to be that the old stereotypical view of certain types of people, what they like to show people of a certain age dogs to draw their attention, but there's no suggestion that that's going on here. I mean, we're only a few minutes into the chat. He's a family man. He treats his nieces very well. He has dogs. He treats those very well. He's concerned about her entertainment and her well-being. I mean, it's just, it's kind of making me feel sad, really, because just think of all the nonsense I've been spouting for all these years about this particular individual, who I will refer to as L. I have a cam too if you'd like to see me on cam. You can see Bud on cam too. I gave Daisy away to my nephew before I moved to Nashville. So, rather than thinking about himself and maybe company that he could have with the 2 dogs, he gave the dog Daisy, which is a beautiful name, to his nephew because he was thinking of that person's well-being. Sorry, the dog's well-being, and maybe to make his nephew happier as well. So, in a few minutes, look at the things that this guy has shown is quite remarkable. He's shown compassion, he's shown empathy and understanding. He's polite. He is perceptive. He's honest. He's kind and considerate. I mean, it's quite remarkable. Okay, so, and the good thing is, Kayla responded to that. Or you gave her away, and he kind of, she kind of thinks it's a little bit sad, but you can tell that she appreciates that he did it for the greater good. Because Luke here, I wasn't very happy to, but I thought it would be best for her because my nephew and his wife have a dog just like her. That shows a selflessness that L put other people's happiness before his own. It's quite remarkable, really. And what you got to remember is there's no suggestion of any deception here so far in this particular chat log. Because he's been honest about where he lives, his location, his age, all that kind of stuff. And did you get the other 2 pics? Yeah, of your dog. Okay, want to see me on cam? And this is just another aspect of Elle being honest. He doesn't want any misperceptions about Kayla. He wants the relationship to blossom. He just wants to be nice to this person. He can quite clearly see that she's a little bit lonely, a little bit bored in a chat log. In an internet forum, no one to talk to, and Elle just wants to help. And I mean, he's throwing the compliments at Kayla. Look at those big blue eyes. You're so cute. One may be able to argue, or one incorrect perception would be that Elle, being 36 years old, shouldn't really be talking to a girl of the age of 13 in this particular manner, complimenting her on her appearance and things like that. But what you've got to remember is that is just how crazy the world is. There's nothing wrong at all with what he's doing. The world would perceive this as being an incorrect way of existing, that you can't have internet conversations with girls of that age who are still children and compliment them on their appearance. But that's just because the world would think of it as being sexual, when that clearly isn't the case. There's nothing to suggest that anything like that is going on. And Kayla's quite clearly enjoying the conversation. She's responding quite well with very short replies, but that's fine because she may be a little shy. Do I look cuter on cam than I do in the picture? Now here, L maybe is tapping into his own insecurities, but I don't think so. I think that he just wants to know that Kayla is comfortable talking to him. If Kayla thought he looked like a gargoyle, she wouldn't be very happy, and at that point I think L would walk away, because we've already seen that he puts other people's happiness before his own. So he's just making sure that Kayla's having a good time. And she's responded yes. That's because pictures don't do very good with me, and that's nothing at all to do with the fact that L may not. Well, L's trying to say that he's not very photogenic. There's usually a reason people are not photogenic, and I'll let you figure that out for yourself. And I bet all the boys at school are after you. Huh? Laugh out loud. No, not really. Hang on, I need to put a towel. I need to put a towel at the bottom of my at the bottom of my door, so my neighbours will think the lights are out and I've gone to bed. Well, I mean, I suppose he doesn't want to get distracted. All he's thinking about is Kayla's sort of well-being and that she's having a good time and all that kind of stuff. So he's not really. He doesn't want any distractions. He wants to give Kayla his undivided attention. There's nothing wrong with that. Why you want to do that? Because they're starting to annoy me. They keep coming up and asking to use my computer, my phone. And I mean, this is just another example of L's sort of compassion, if you will. Not compassion, but just being a genuine kind person, because it obviously in the past he's let his neighbours use his phone and use his computer and give them lifts to the store. He's been a stand-up guy. He's shown that he's good to his neighbours. He wants to do good for people. But now what he's doing, and he's doing the right thing, is every now and again you've got to stand up and say enough's enough. I've got to look after myself. He's putting his own well-being in front of theirs, which you're entitled to do, and he wants to concentrate on Kayla and make sure that she's having a good time. So, this L fella, he's one stand-up guy. Let's be honest. He must use locks. Yup, and it's starting to aggravate me. So I'm kind of giving them a go-away attitude right now. And good on you, L. I think it's about time you did that. Find it hard to believe the boys at your school aren't all after you. You're a little doll. I mean, that might boost the self-confidence. He clearly thinking about her development as a child, doesn't want any confidence issues, trying to big her up, make her feel good about herself. She's responded quite well. Oh, thanks, you're very welcome. If you were only like 5 years older, I'd be after you too. So here we are. L has quite clearly stated that he wouldn't be interested in Kayla because she's 5 years too young. In 5 years, when she's 18, but here, L is it's another way of him building this girl's confidence. He's portrayed him. If Kayla was a real person, let's just assume she is for the minute, she would be thinking that Elle is like one hell of a guy. You know, look at all the things that he's done. Compassionate, understanding, polite, family person, animal lover, good to his neighbours. I mean, you could go on and on and on, and we're only like 10, 20 minutes in. She's going to love this, well, not love him, but she's going to really think a lot of this guy. She's going to think, God, this guy, this is a really stand-up guy, you know, he's like she might start developing a bit of a crush on him. Now, Elle, it's the ultimate confidence boost for Kayla. If she's not being chased by girls at school, she might be a little self-conscious about her looks. But now she's getting a 36-year-old male who comes across as a great guy, saying that if she was a few years older, he'd be after her. And by saying if she was older, he's also alluding to the fact that he's not of that type of person that he would go after somebody like this, because it's incorrect to do that. So yeah, I can't believe I was so silly to think of this in any other way. It's quite crazy, really. And then, as you can see there, Kayla's responded really as if she's surprised at that. And then Lorne is saying, definitely, you did a right decision when you put princess on your ID name. So cute. Laugh out loud. So, I mean, you know, here we are again, calling her a princess. And what 13-year-old girl wouldn't like to be called princess? You know, he's just rattling. He's a charming individual, isn't he? He's a charming individual. He's rattling off the compliments. If you were my niece, I'd be spoiling you rotten like I did with my other nieces. Unfortunately, you're not my nieces. And Lorne, Elle... Are we on 7 now? Elle is quite clearly displaying here that he's getting affectionate about this particular person. He's starting to care about this particular person. And he's starting to understand a bit of what's going on with the relationship between her and her father, which is quite possibly the most important relationship she's got in her life. And there are certain other people in certain other chat logs that try and destroy that, but what he's doing here is building on it. I can see why he does. He's not having a go at the parental relationship and trying to break that and try and manipulate her. He's you know, it's quite unbelievable, really, this. You've got suck pretty eyes. I hope that word isn't... No, let's just assume that that's just a genuine typo, shall we? Because, yeah, K's pretty close to H on the keyboard. You've got such pretty eyes. I have blue eyes too. Almost the same colour blue as yours, I think. Even though I can't tell by the cam or the pics. Even though you can't tell by the... What are you on about, L? Anyway, well, we can forgive him for a bit of rambling, can't we? Because he's been totally coherent so far. So, do you play any sports? No, not really. Do you do anything extra at school? Nah, just homework. I bet you're not too thrilled about that. And, you know, Lorne and Elle will understand that not many people like that. So, Elle's kind of asking a big question here. So tell me, why would you want to come in a chat room like this? Laugh out loud. They say all kinds of things that you probably shouldn't hear at your age. I was bored. Oh. how often do you go in chat rooms? Now, I must admit, if I think back to my previous incarnation as a more cynical and less perceptive individual, I used to think that this was a little bit sinister, but of course, no. This is the protector. The Good Samaritan. The protector. Wants to know, he's trying to warn this person of the dangers. Because look here, they say all kinds of things that you probably shouldn't hear at your age. Laugh out loud. The laugh out loud part, I can quite clearly tell. Doesn't want things to get too heavy. If he went all out there and said the really horrible things that go on in these chat rooms, Elle would scare Kayla off and she'd probably cry. So Elle's trying to get an idea of the kind of life that she's leading, so he can protect her. He can protect her and be the Good Samaritan, which is, we've already established, is in his nature already. There's been no lies, there's been no bullshit, all straight down the middle, straight up charming guy with quite a bit of intelligence. Have you read anything that made you say, wow? Huh? Some of the names that people make up for IDs and things. Or have you heard all that talk before? Yeah, they're funny. What things have you heard in here so far? Nothing really. I've been talking to you while I'm here. You must be enjoying talking to me. Yeah, you're fun to talk to. Never used to let his nieces go into any chat room. So, Lorne, or should I say Elle, is aware of the dangers. We quite clearly know that. But he's already saying that Elle never used to allow his nieces into these particular chat rooms. So he's letting Kayla know that she's in a difficult, a potentially dangerous environment, and Elle's trying to warn her of those dangers. And Elle here has said basically because they talk a lot about sex and stuff in them. Now, he's very right, they do. And although it may seem a little bit questionable to mention that at this stage, it's got to be done. Sometimes you've got to be cruel to be kind, and although bringing a subject like that up in this particular instance might seem wrong, you can't have a girl of 13 in a chat room like this without her being aware of the kind of people that are in this particular chat room. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. So I probably do another part to this, a clearer, more perceptive interpretation of this chat log, because I've got a lot of making up to do, really. So yeah, there's going to be quite a bit more stuff about Elle, one would imagine. But please be kind in the comments. Don't don't berate me because I've changed my mind about things. You know, if all you people in the community sort of had enough about you, you would see things from my perspective. And if you don't, I feel sorry for you. It's as simple as that. So I will speak to you later. See you later, guys.